Hello, I'm Neil. Welcome to Grandpa's Workshop. As always, big thank you to all my subscribers. Now this week I've got my grandson in the workshop, so what we're going to do?
Create a Viking shield.
Okay, let's make a Viking style shield. So, it's time to make a shield boss. I've got this big chunk of wood that I previously turned on the lathe to create this dish shape in the centre. I've got my mixing cup, my mixing stick, I've got 2-pot epoxy resin that mixes together at a ratio of 1:1. I've got a silicone bowl with a few rags in it so I can soak them in the resin. I've got a balloon filled with ball bearings which will go in the middle, press down so it creates the shape I want. I've got rags, and all I'm going to do is lay the resin soaked rags in the hole, and it'll be a bit like paper mache, but obviously with material and resin. And I've got some rubber gloves to keep my hands clean. So now I'm going to mix this and get cracking. I've poured 100 ml of A and 100 ml of B, and now I'm going to mix it and start making the shield boss. Right, all I need to do now is let that set. For the main body of the shield, we've got this piece of plywood and it measures 2 foot by 2 foot. We've marked out some reference lines to find the centre of the shield. We've marked out this centre circle, which is where the shield boss will go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut out this large diameter circle of the shield with the router. Then we'll cut out this with a jigsaw and we'll make a handle. we've cut out the shield. Off camera we've put a little line going round, creating a board round the edge of the shield. So now Heath's going to drill a hole through the centre and I'll cut this out with a jigsaw. Right, we've got the basic shape of our shield, so now we're going to sand where we've been cutting.
And we've cut out the middle bit.
We've cut out the middle bit, it's all ready to be sanded, and after we've sanded it we'll move on to making a handle.
Right, all you want to do is take off these bits and share it with it.
I've drawn a design onto this piece of wood. This is the handle. Because it's such a narrow piece of wood, I'm going to cut it out with a jigsaw. I'll then go over it with a round over bit to round the edges. And then I'll get Heath to come and sand it. Right, now the handle's ready, what we're going to do is we're going to put some masking tape on the shield and then we're going to start painting. Can you dust that for me please, Heath?
Sure.
Right, that'll do. Right, we've put masking tape on, giving us 4 different sections. We're going to have 2 sections red and 2 sections blue. And we've got some acrylic paint, so now we're going to start painting. We're going to let this dry. Once it's dried, we'll remove this masking tape, put some more masking tape on, and do the next sections blue.
Maybe we'll shut them later. Try and be careful. It's alright. Not, yeah. Right. I'll finish painting before doing brushes. Okay.
We've got the handle in place. I've pre-drilled and countersunk some holes, so now we're going to screw the handle to the shield.
Let me get onto the screw first. Right now. Fast. Yep, hold up. sure it's in the screw correct in the first place. Come on. Sit. Hold it. No. Look, see, there it is. There we go. Good one, that's it. Nope. That's it.
Off camera, I've cut away the excess from the shield boss, and now I'm just going to round it up using the belt sander. The shield boss is screwed in place. Now we don't like the look of these screws, so what we're going to do is put some UV resin, just a little blob on top of each screw, set it using the UV light, and then we can paint it. off camera, what we've done is where we put the UV resin on top of the screw heads, it creates a slight domed effect. So we've just put a quick dab of black paint, try and make them look a bit like iron nails or iron rivets. We've made this shield out of plywood, but traditionally it'd be made out of pine or fir, and once the wood was glued together and the circle was cut out, they'd thin it out towards the edges, so the centre would be thicker than the edge. Once that was done, a piece of rawhide or leather or a piece of linen would be glued to the entire surface to make it more rigid and stronger, and then the edge would have a piece of leather or a piece of rawhide folded over and stitched in place, and sometimes they'd even get some metal brackets that go over. But this is only a mock-up of a shield, so we've painted the edge brown to make it look a bit like rawhide or leather.
So this is our completed shield. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.